Okay, hi everybody, and welcome back to Unredacted Feather. We are so glad that you are back with us and watching this video. I remain grateful for your encouraging comments following the last video that we did. You are some amazing folks, and I'm very grateful. Now, many of you know the background and how it came to be that Unredacted Feather became a YouTube channel. If you don't know why it is that we became a YouTube channel, I encourage you to go back and check out my introduction to Unredacted Feather. I think it's the first video that we published. If not, it may be the second. Seems to me it was the first. As many of you know, my friend Jeremy Hales from What the Hales, great channel by the way, hired me to help him with a case where he had been being harassed by a former fan. Now, this former fan was a lady who went so far as to purchase property, real estate, near some real estate that Jeremy owed over in Otter Creek, Florida. Yeah. Otter Creek is a very small town, not a whole bunch of residents, but it's a wonderful community with some great people. I love many of them there, and actually have family that live there. It's located in Levy County, Florida, and which is in north central Florida, and includes a significant part of the coast along the Gulf of Mexico, the coastline there. It runs from Swanee River to the north, all the way down to English to the south. So this lady, this former fan, acquired property near Jeremy and began to stalk and harass him along with her ex-husband with whom she lived. They were trying to get money, trying to do different things, but just the situation became so intolerable that Jeremy sought and ultimately obtained a protection order in the state of Ohio to keep this lady and her paramour, John, away from him. Now, it's very interesting, but we're going to be doing a story on John and his recent arrest, so stay tuned for that in one of the upcoming episodes. So back to this situation, the Ohio court entered an order prohibiting Lynette or John from contacting Jeremy or George, and they weren't even allowed to go near him. So there were two orders, one that kept them away, John and Lynette, from Jeremy, the other one kept them away from George. And as you know, if you follow What the Hales, this hasn't stopped them from contacting Jeremy or George. So both of them have been held, John and Lynette have already been held in contempt in the court of Ohio. And there is yet another contempt hearing coming up in Ohio again. For some entertainment and unbelievable story, go check out the What the Hales library and select the videos that are related to this legal drama. Really a legal insanity. I am confident that you'll be shocked by what you see, because it's up here, and start from the beginning of my relationship with Jeremy. We have become friends, fantastic guy. We've been fishing, spent some time together, and he's encouraged me, as I already said, to start this channel. But our relationship began back in early 1993. Jeremy contacted me, and he asked me to assist him in defending himself and against an injunction in Levy where this woman, Lynette, had made numerous allegations against Jeremy in an effort to get a injunction, quote, that's what we call them in Florida, it's the same as a protection order in Ohio, which would keep Jeremy from being able, or have the effect of stopping Jeremy from being able to observe his many constitutional rights, including freedom of speech as guaranteed by our First Amendment to the United States Constitution, his right to bear arms as guaranteed by the Second Amendment, and numerous other rights would have been affected or would be affected if this permanent injunction goes into effect. Now, many of you know it's already happened. They put in a temporary injunction. And so right now, his right to guns, his right to freedom of speech, his right to travel, his right even to use his own property, these rights that we enjoy as United States citizens have been taken from him, really based upon lies. Now, if you've been following this story going back, you will see where this issue has been covered by several legal channels, including Megan Fox, Larry Foreman, the DUI guy, Tug, the umbrella guy, and many others, because of the outlandish behavior that was captured on this video, and some of the statements and some of the untruths of this woman and the things that she said, the way that she acted. If you watch all the videos, you even see that she says her name is different times. One time she has 5 names, the other time she has 2. Well, this has led to a ton of coverage across the country and across the planet. You may have noticed, however, that on my channel, we've not really discussed this at all previously. In fact, I've had to make a conscious effort to steer away from it because, well, I've chosen to because I don't like darkness, I don't like hate, I don't like animosity, I don't like division, I don't like discord, I don't like all of these negative things that, frankly, come from evil, from darkness. So the question is, why would I break my silence now? I cannot be truly candid without risking my ability to continue to help people in my practice of law. I wanted to talk about this fully, truthfully, candidly, but I was advised that I shouldn't do so because it could put my livelihood in peril and preclude me from being able to help people that need my help in the future. And I love helping people, and I'm not willing to give that up. And I certainly want to be able to continue to serve the clients that I have now and to help those in the future. So I must bite my tongue and pen. But I want to use this opportunity to educate you and to help you and others that hopefully you'll share this video with understand some of the important significance of judicial rules and canons, and specifically why ex parte communications are strictly prohibited for a judge to participate in. I've decided that it would be appropriate for me to educate and share regarding some of the critical obligations of judges. The judicial canons of ethics require that all parties, individuals who appear before the court, be treated with respect. All judges must perform the judicial duties impartially and fairly. Any judge who manifests bias in any proceeding that impairs or appears to impair the fairness of the proceedings risk bringing the judiciary, which must be above all these circumstances and drama, into disrepute. So you're welcome. Check out this hearing. It's worth a look. One of the fundamental, in fact, I believe one of the most fundamental rules of a judge, which is absolutely critical with very, very limited exceptions, is that judges not participate in ex parte communications. Ex parte means one party, which means that judges cannot and certainly should not communicate with one party and or their attorney without the other party and or their attorney being present. To be a lawyer who is very diligent, I do not want to have anything catch me by surprise when I'm in a courtroom. I want to know everything that has ever happened in the case previously or regarding the situation previously. I want to know all the facts and all the information that's available to anybody before I go to trial or even to a hearing. Whether it's a personal injury action or a criminal case, diligence and preparation are key for any lawyer. So, what does that mean? Well, you need to know everything that the judge may know or may consider in any case so that you can prepare to deal with it. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you have to have this information so that you know what you need to do to prepare against it. Maybe research law, maybe get additional facts or witnesses, but you have to have knowledge. So the bottom line is that a judge's participation in an ex parte communication in and of itself is a basis upon which a judge should immediately disqualify him or herself from the proceeding. It could happen unknowingly, where a judge talks to somebody and they didn't realize this is a litigant before them, and then they find out, well, they should withdraw. If a judge has ex parte, you can learn about these ex parte communications from other sources, and there is plenty of information out there. In fact, I can give you references to articles, but let me just read a little piece of a couple articles that deal with ex parte communications. So this little piece is out of the Judicial Conduct Reporter, a publication that apprises judges and the public about what should and should not be done. And it provides, quote, a core provision in the Code of Judicial Conduct, comma, the prohibition on ex parte communications ensures that both sides get the same opportunity to present their case to the judge. Ex parte communications undermine a judge's impartiality and the integrity of the judicial process. The excluded party, that is the party who didn't participate in this communication, will feel, rightfully so, that his or her opponent has gained an unfair advantage regardless of whether the judge was swayed or not. And even the most conscientious judge may subtly and unknowingly be influenced by even seemingly innocuous ex parte contacts, and the prohibition applies regardless of how well intentioned the judge may be. Now, obviously, the more facts, the more drama, the more sensitive information or evidence that the judge may receive ex parte, the greater the risk of apparent bias. In addition, in an ex parte communication, a judge may receive inaccurate or incomplete information that might easily be corrected if both sides have been there, right? It's a huge danger, and it's part of the basis of our primary system, of our legal system and our adversarial system. Both sides need to be able to participate. So fundamental is the principle that the judge's ex parte communication may lead to reversal of a judgment. A judgment may be reversed because of an ex parte communication. And the rules of professional conduct also bar an attorney. So I can't even go to a judge, and rightfully so, an attorney from communicating ex parte with a judge. So the Code of Judicial Conduct provides, quote, a judge shall not initiate, permit, or consider ex parte communications or consider any other communications made to the judge outside of the presence of the parties or their lawyers concerning any pending or impending matter. That rule is contained in Canon 3B, subparagraph 7, 3B7 of the 1990 American Bar Association Model Code of Judicial Conduct. It also appears in Rule 2.9a of the 2007 Model Code and illustrates the age of this article. This has been the law forever. The common laws, as we have discussed on this channel before, came from England. And we, the United States, brought over the common law when we left England. We adopted it, and now it includes not only case law or common law, but also statutory now in case law. Louisiana is an exception, as they don't observe case law, but they came from the French. So, but the idea of ex parte communications, even in France, has been around forever under the common law and hopefully everywhere else in the world. Fortunately, our system is an adversarial system, and the idea being that if you have two people on both, or a person on each side of an argument presenting their case as adversaries, that the truth ultimately will come out. And that's the job of a judge or a jury, to hear both sides presented adversarially, and then the court or the jury, as a finder of fact, determines which side is right after applying it to the law. Now, juries, of course, just do the facts. But in the event a person who just shows up and tells a judge a story about what the other side has done, or what do you think that judge, even the very best judge, my goodness, judges are human beings, and we are blessed with some of the great judges in our country for sure. But how do you think they're impacted if one side were to be able to show up and tell their story, and the other side didn't get to hear it and didn't get to tell theirs, or even show the judge what was wrong about what the other person was saying? That would create a travesty, wouldn't it? So judges are prohibited from calling people's names. They're from accusing lawyers of wrongdoing, or accusing litigants of wrongdoing inappropriately. And they are required, all judges, to follow the law, particularly with regard to ex parte communications. I just continue to be beside myself at the idea that any judge might decide that it was appropriate to do so. And you know, I trust that you have seen my channel, and you know that I don't get upset very easily, by God's grace. But we kind of started this channel with the idea of exposing some of the injustices that happen in our justice system, our legal system. As I was beginning to prepare for this video, I was wearing a shirt that said God's Army. And so it is my intention to continue to stand up for what is true, what is right, what is light, and what is of God. What has happened in Jeremy's case is an absolute injustice. I will tell you this. When Jeremy hired me, I agreed to go with him to this one hearing, and it was our intention to get that hearing done. That hearing was scheduled for November 29, 2023. We were so desperate to get this case resolved that we were willing to go on into the evening, and we're even willing to waive our right to some evidence we probably had the right to get. We wanted to get this over behind Jeremy so that it didn't go on any longer. But what happened, it's still going. And I'll let you ask yourself, why in the world could that be? How could this, I think you've heard it said that, frequently 5 to 10 of these injunctions or hearings are heard in one single afternoon. It's not unusual for several to be resolved. How can it be that this one has gone on for months and months and months and months? It just does not seem just. I want you to go back. If you look, you'll see, and I may have said this already in this video. So I can't tell you where this thing ends, this nightmare that Jeremy and George, frankly, are caught up in. But we're going to be moving on from that because of the dangers associated with it. So Jeremy has asked me to talk about the arrest of John Cook, who he calls Crook, and what's going to happen with that case. As you might know, he was just arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I believe that happened as a result of a warrant that was issued. And I know that Jeremy has posted the first appearance video where the judge set the bond at $75,000. So anyway, there will be a lot to cover on this. I'm probably going to give you some background about, how did he get to this far. Members only perks. So I thank you. Thank you so much for helping us become monetized. We've committed that we'll give at least 50% of any profits. Now, we're ways from making a profit. That's okay. But at least 50% of any profits will go to the mission field. Elsie and I have made that commitment, and that's what's going to happen. So, God willing, that will come to be at one day. One of the things is they're suggesting is they have kind of trying to, YouTube does a great job of encouraging you to promote yourself and wants actually you to see you be successful. And they provide tools. So one of the things that they propose is we do a members only section where you can join for a specified sum and get perks that include access to particular things that aren't available that aren't published, I guess, for the whole planet to see unless you're a member. And so I'm a family member with Jeremy at What the Hales, and I get access to all of this great stuff that I wouldn't have otherwise. It's similar with us. And my thinking is that we're going to take these videos, that is the videos that we've not done any redaction of whatsoever, play them beginning to end so that you can see the whole proceeding in this case that Jeremy hired me to start doing. And of course, Jeremy's given me, in fact, encouraged me to publish anything that I want about this. The man loves the Lord, and he's pretty fearless. Unredacted Feather, living up to its name, will be putting up videos that we have no redaction to. There won't be anything removed, beginning with the very first hearing that was in the case I represented Jeremy, and we'll go each hearing thereafter, and we'll publish those, make them available on the member-only section of this channel. And blessings to you. Let us know what we can do that we are not doing, and continue to keep those comments coming. We do read them. They do encourage us. And also share. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, folks, what we're doing, if you enjoy it. Next time, God bless you, and those you love,